Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutchy Gaming, and a new series where I'm concentrating on farming expedition and logbooks to get as many Gwennen currencies as we can. Basically, the goal of the series is to get a Mageblood. It's that simple. Obviously, there's other loot along the way that could be really good, like a headhunter or a squire, but they're really the three main things that we're aiming for in this series. So to fund this, I'm going to be using the juicing guide that I showed in the previous video to get going. And then I'll be running all the logbooks myself, prioritizing Gwennen, Danig, and Tusion currencies. Now, any currency we make from Tusion is going to really help because that's going to fund the currency to buy more logbooks. Now, I did have all the footage of the first episode recorded, but for some reason my OBS recorded it really badly. There's loads of grainy lines, there's flickers, there's freezes, so I can't show any of the footage. So I do have the dump tab with the currency that I made, and I can explain kind of what happened in the first 10 logbooks. So I had 10 logbooks to run, which I farmed myself from mapping, and I ran all these prioritizing reroll currencies and expedition currencies. I did end up running into 3 bosses, which really helped because that gave me a lot more reroll tokens. So overall, I did over 100 Gwennen rerolls, but so far nothing to show for it. There were basically 100 rerolls that were busted. And then after spending Danny's currency on even more rerolls and some Tusion rerolls, I did end up with some really, really nice currency from Tusion once we spent it all. Now this is the currency I got from running Tusion, which is around 5.5x. So overall, if I take into account the logbook values, because I could have just sold them, the profit's not massive. It's between 3.5 to 4 exalts, which is not amazing because the logbooks take a little while to run, but the really time consuming bit is going through all the vendor windows, going through Danig, buying everything up. It takes quite a long time. So as a pure farming strategy, if you're not interested in using the currency, I wouldn't recommend this. But if you're someone that likes interacting with the vendor windows, buying stuff from Tusion, maybe you like ROG, or you want to do a similar thing and target Gwennen, I think this is a really fun way of playing the game. And the currency we get from Tusion, as you can see in this window, is easily going to be enough to farm an absolute shed load of logbooks. We can sell the stat decks in bulk. This stuff will keep just for currency, but when we get a huge amount of them, we can sell them in bulk. These are all items that we easily sell. Obviously, we won't sell the logbook. Raw currency, tons of cows to buy logbooks, and then a smattering of things that I know are worth money. So I think it's going to be a really efficient way of farming. And then if I do ever run out, I can go back and do my juicing strategy. But I think just by buying logbooks and then splitting it between Tusion and Gwennen, I should be able to sustain. Now, the way I'm doing this is I've linked an expedition guide in the video description, which Manny bought out, and it's really, really helpful for understanding how to prioritize stuff. I'm not massively experienced in expedition. I tend to be a person that just throws the explosives down over chests and hopes for the best. But going through his guide, showing you what to look for and how to really maximize your potential, you can end up with an absolute ton of loot from these logbooks. The most important thing I've learned from the guide is the difference between some of the tile sets. Like, it feels so bad when you end up doing a map with the big tile set because everything is so far apart. Even if you've got your logbook with some nice modifiers, it's still really difficult to make decent money. But flip it on the other side, the small tile set maps are well worth paying a premium for, as you can get a ton more loot from the logbooks. So I'm going to bring out a video every 2 to 3 days with an update, and the series is going to go on until I get a Mageblood, or the league ends, or I lose the will to live and just give up entirely, but I don't think that's going to happen. So after episode 1, we've got nothing good to show for it in terms of Gwennen loot, but we have now got some funds to go and buy some logbooks, and this should cover a good few episodes. Now I'm hoping you all come along for the ride, and I look forward to bringing out the first episode with some actual gameplay footage instead of me standing doing nothing. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.